Hello and welcome to your computing lesson. Okay, so what we are going to do today then is we are going to use a spreadsheet to model a real life problem. We're going to do it by practicing our new learning that we started on last week. And we are going to do it so that we can calculate the area and perimeter. So this even matches up with the maths work that we have been doing previously. So hopefully you already know what area is. What's area? The space inside a 2D shape. Hopefully you know what perimeter is, the length of the outside of a 2D shape. So today, rather than us doing it in our heads, we're going to get a spreadsheet to calculate it for us. So strengths from last week, your spreadsheets were fantastic. You've really understood how you can put different pictures in, different numbers in, how you can copy things into different cells, how you could lock things into certain cells. So really well done for that. So development points for today are, I'm just going to learn how to do something a little bit more tricky, okay? But we need to remember that when we're adding a formula, it always starts with an equal sign, okay? That's my development point for you today, because if you don't remember that, the rest of this lesson is going to be a bit tricky. So remember, a formula has to start with an equals, okay, when we're talking about computing. Okay, so, ooh, no, where's it gone? Okay, right, rewind them. What is a spreadsheet and what are they used for? Well, a spreadsheet is something that looks a bit like this. It is a way of organising information, usually mathematical information. It is also a programme which we can use to do calculations for us, which makes it easier rather than doing everything step by step by step. Still part of the rewind then. Can you remember what is a row, what is a column, and what is a cell? So hopefully this was nice and easy. So the column is this one. The rows are the ones that go across, and the cell is the rectangles. So this is a cell, this is a cell, this is a cell. And remember, we name them by looking at the letter at the top and the number at the side. So this cell is E1. This cell here is C4. Okay? Right. On to today's problem. In fact, before we do this, let's get Purple Mash open so that you can watch the video and have Purple Mash running at the same time so you can follow my instructions. So you need to open up a new Google page and you need to go onto Purple Mash and log on. When you've done that, you need to go onto your to-dos and click on to calculate. When you've done that, you then need to click on sheet at the top, just like we did last week, and click on the FX one with the magic wand. When you've done that, you should have a blank spreadsheet sheet up in front of you. Pause it there and then come back onto the video so you can see the next bit that I'm going to tell you. Lovely. Okay, so here is a real life application of using a spreadsheet. So Farmer McFlock has 12 metres of fence. Okay, good thing to remember so far. You might want to write these down, you might want to keep them in your head. It's up to you. So Farmer McFlock has got 12 metres of fence. She has surrounded her field with the fence. Okay, so what's it called when we go around the outside of a shape? It's the perimeter. So this is basically trying to tell us that the perimeter of her field is how many metres? 12 metres. And you can actually see, because I'm nice like that, I've written this down here. So the perimeter is 12 metres. She's got 12 metres of fence. Each sheep, here they are, look, needs 1 metre squared. Now, for the purpose of this, I know they're not squares, but for the purpose of this, 1 metre squared is represented by one cell. So that's 1 metre squared, that's 1 metre squared, that's 1 metre squared, etc. Okay, so to recap, she has got 12 metres of fence, and that goes all the way around the outside of her field. So she's got a perimeter of 12 metres, and each sheep needs 1 metre squared. It needs a cell. So one sheep can have one cell. How many sheep could she fit in this field? What do we think? So hopefully you worked out that there was 8 cells, so she could have 8 sheep. The amount of sheep is the same as the what? It's the same as the area. Okay, right, let's explain. Ooh, very tricky doing joined writing on a computer. Let's try and explain that a little bit more then. Okay, so we have got the width going across is 4 centimetres. Meters, lovely. The width going down is 2 meters. So the perimeter then is 4 meters. This one would be 4 meters, which would be 8 meters, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I know that the perimeter all the way around the outside of the whole rectangle, the whole field, is 12 meters. So we're using 1 meter of fence for each square. Not that they're squares. We're going to go with it. So the area then, how do we work out area? We find the width, we find the length, and we times. Okay. So we've done 4 times 2, which is 8. So that is the amount of squares, the amount of sheep, the amount of cells, that is the area. Okay. So the amount of sheep is the same as the area. So what about then if the area of her field was 12 meters squared? How many sheep could she keep then? Well, the area and the amount of sheep is the same because 1 sheep needs 1 meter squared. So if she had 12 meters squared, 12 sheep. What about if the area was 24 meters squared? How many sheep would she be able to keep then? Well, she'd be able to keep 24 sheep. 24 meters squared is the area, 24 sheep. Okay, so hopefully we're understanding that for this problem, the amount of sheep is the same as the area. They are the same thing. Right. What about then if Farmer McFlock collected more fencing? Okay, so she's now got we've done that one, haven't we? You can ignore the top. We've done that one. She's now got 16 meters of fencing. And she split that 16 meters. She's got a length of 3 and a length of 3, 6. She's got a width of 5 and a width of 5, should be 10. 16 meters altogether. And I want us to work out, without doing it in our heads, which I know we can do as we've been learning it this week, I want us to try and come up with a formula to work out the area and the perimeter of all of these fields. And then the area will tell us how many sheep she could fit in her field. Okay, so this would be the perimeter, would be 16 meters. This is what we're going to have a go at doing. We're going to have a go at creating a spreadsheet so that she can work out what the perimeter is, what the lengths and widths are, what the area is, and therefore how many sheep she can fit in her field. Right, over to Purple Mash then. And as if by magic, here we are on Purple Mash. Okay then, let's have a go at making this spreadsheet. So along the top, I have gone for perimeter, because that's how much fencing she has got. And I said she had 16. Don't need to worry about the meters just yet. Then it's going to confuse it. So let's just put 16, but we know it's in meters. So perimeter was 16 meters. And then I had gone for a width of 3 and a length of 5. Okay then, what formula could I put in here to work out the area? What formula would I need? Area, we find the width, we find the length, and we times. Keep that in your head then. We did this last week. So formulas on spreadsheets always start with an equal sign. And then I want the width, which is B3, and I want to times it with C2. Not B3, sorry, B2. It's because it's got a 3 there. How do you do a times on a spreadsheet? You don't do a little X, because that's confusing because there's a cell called X. So you use that little asterisk. Okay, if you're on a keyboard or an iPad, you might have to scroll through the symbols a bit. So I'm going to do B2, and I'm going to times it by C2, which would be 15. So I know that if the perimeter is 16 meters, and it's 3 by 5, the area is going to be 15. I'm going to put meters squared up here because I want to make sure that we know what units are. So how many sheep there? How many sheep? 15 sheep, because it's the same as the area, isn't it? So I'm going to put here equals, and I'm going to click on this cell here. So this cell will always equal what's in the area. Okay, you want to get a little picture of a sheep in there? If you can find pictures, how do we do pictures? We go down here, set image, clip art, animals. Let's see if I can find a sheep. There we are. There's a little, oh, don't really want that bit. There we go. There's a little sheep. There they are, look. So we need 15 sheep. So you could always drag. How do we drag? So we go to the tools at the bottom. We click on the little arrow. And then we can move. Maybe we can't. There we go. Should be able to move my sheep. I don't think we can do it overwriting. There we go. I'm going to lock him there. So I can't write over the top. There we go then. So here's the perimeter. Here's the width and the length. Here is the area. And here's the amount of sheep. Right. This time then, I'm going to give you a width of 7. I'm going to give you a length of 12. What would the formula need to be to work out the area? Well, it's going to be equals, and then it's going to be B3 times C3. But remember what we did last week? You can just drag and move the formula down. Because in moving the formula down, and you see that what it's done is it's gone to the next row. So rather than it being B2 and C2, it's now B3 and C3. Okay. How many sheep then? Because remember, 1 sheep per metre squared. Right, let's drag this formula down. So this formula is now changed to equal D3. So how many sheep? 84 sheep. Right, let's do another one then. Let's have 22 and 14. Let's drag the formula down. 308 metres squared. Let's drag this down. 308 sheep. Okay, nice and easy. Have a go at working out your own measurements for width and length and working out the area. Off we go. Okay, once we've done that then, there's a column that we have kind of neglected a little bit, the perimeter column. So we are going to do something with the perimeter. So what we are going to do is this. I'm going to delete it from over here, I think, actually, to make it easier for me to look at. And I'm going to put it perimeter. Oh, not like that. Oh dear. There we go. Perimeter. I'm going to put it over here. You can put it where you like. These spreadsheets are up to you. It's how you like to format them. You might have done it vertically rather than horizontally, and that's okay. So how do I work out the perimeter? I know the perimeter for the first one was 16 metres because I told you that. I told you that was how much fencing she had. But how would we work it out if all we had was the width and the length? How do we work out perimeter? Well, to work out perimeter, it's the outside of the 2D shape. So you need 2 lengths and you need 2 widths, and then you add them together. Right, this is a more complicated formula. Pause the video and see if you can have a go. If you can't, keep playing it and I'll talk you through it. Okay, so a formula always starts with an equal sign. There we go. And then with this as well, don't use these keypads over here. Make sure you're typing it in. It's much easier for you. Then it will start a proper formula. Okay, we've got an equal sign. Right, perimeter then. So I need 2 widths and 2 lots of lengths. So I need 2 times the width and 2 times the length. Or you could do the width and the length added together and times it by 2. There's lots of different ways you can do this. I'm going to put it in brackets. I'm going to go for the width, and I want it times, so little asterisk, 2, because I want 2 of the widths, because obviously they are the same because it's a rectangle. Then I want to add this together, brackets, no spaces, with 2 of the lengths. So then I'm going to do C2, and I'm going to times it by 2. Close the brackets, press enter, 16. There we go. So we were right, because what we've done is we've got 2 of the widths, 2 of the lengths, we've added them together. Right, let's see if this worked then. Let's drag this formula down. Let's just check it. So this one is 2 lots of B3, add 2 lots of C3, and my answer would be 38 metres. Right, well, let's think about that then. So we'd have a 7 and a 12 and a 7 and a 12. So 7 and 12 is 19. 19 and 19 is 38. It worked. Last one, 22 and 14. So you'd have 22 and 22, which would be 44. 14 and 14, which would be 28. Add them together, 72. So here I can put in If I drag these formulas down a bit, I drag these formulas down, and I drag these formulas down, I can now put in any width and any length, and it will tell me the area and the perimeter without me having to work it out. So if I gave you a maths question from the other day, like this one here, could you put this into your formula machine, your perimeter and area machine, and can you work out the area and the perimeter? Off you go. So this one was a square then. It had a width of 5. Because it's a square, the lengths are the same. So the width's 5, the length was 5. So the area will be 25 meters squared. So the sheep, there would be 25 sheep, and the perimeter would be 20. So 5, 5, 5, 5. Okay, I want you to have a go at filling in this machine. Challenge for you is, if I gave you the area, is there a way, if I gave you an area of a square, is there a way that you could work out the widths and the lengths using this machine? You're going to have to put some other formulas in. That is a challenge for you. And if you can't do it, don't worry. That's just a little extra task if you found this too easy. Show me on Purple Mash. I will be commenting and having a look at it later. Right, well done for today. Make sure you save it and make sure you hand it in as well. Right, bye.